Today, elections were held in Sachsen or Saxony and Brandenburg. These are neighboring states in the former East Germany. The elections went very well for Alternative für Deutschland, or AfD, a new conservative party launched in 2013. Right now, it looks like the AfD got 27.5% in Saxony and 23.5% in Brandenburg. The results exceed what the AfD was polling in both states. These are also the highest percentages that the AfD has ever received in a state election. The AfD came in second place in both states. However, they only came in second place because of crossover voters. A large number of people switched parties just to try to hurt the AfD. In these elections, some of the seats are distributed proportionately by party, and some are direct mandates for the candidates that receive the most votes. Voters actually cast a party vote and a candidate vote. In Saxony, many voters for the three left-wing parties switched to the CDU just to try to hurt the AfD. There was even an SPD mayor in Saxony that called on SPD voters to cast their direct mandate votes for the CDU. If you look at the polls in Saxony, right before the election, the CDU started surging, and the three left-wing parties started dropping. A similar situation happened in Brandenburg, only SPD surged, and the CDU and Green parties dropped. A lot of people crossed party lines to prevent the AfD from winning direct mandates. However, it did not work that well. The AfD still won a lot of the direct mandate seats. Saxony is very interesting because it is considered one of the most conservative areas of Germany. Recently, the national leaders of the CDU, Angela Merkel and Annegret Kramp-Karrenbauer, ordered all CDU officials to shun the AfD. The local head of the CDU in Saxony is Michael Kretschmer. He has previously campaigned as a conservative. In previous elections, it even looked like the Saxony branch of the CDU was trying to distance themselves from Merkel. However, this time, Kretschmer went way to the left to appease Merkel. In fact, he publicly pledged to coalition with the SPD and Green Party and keep the AfD out of government. The SPD and the Greens only received 16.3%. However, the SPD and the Greens are now going to be in a position to demand major concessions. There is no reason for the left to play nice with the CDU. They have Kretschmer by the balls now. They are going to be very aggressive. If we look at polls from the past 2 weeks, it is evident that 6 to 7% of Saxony voters are people who crossed over to the CDU from the three left-wing parties. However, among the other 25 to 26% who voted for the CDU, many thought they were voting for a conservative party. Do you think that some of these people might do the math? Will they say the conservative AfD got 27.5%? The allegedly conservative CDU got 32%? That's 59.5%. With direct mandates, that means these two parties should have received over 60% of the seats. Yet, after the Saxony CDU enters into a clown world agreement with the SPD and the Green Party, many longtime CDU voters in Saxony will say, "Warum ist mein Landtag so links?" CDU voters will wonder why they have such a left-wing government. Do you think this might hurt the party in the long run? Keep in mind that even with the crossover voters, the CDU still performed much worse than they did in 2014. The CDU received 40% in 2014. There's also another big issue. I have previously talked about how the Election Commission and the courts in Saxony have limited the AFD to only 30 candidates. Well, local media is forecasting that the AFD won 38 seats. This means the election will be going to the federal courts now. As I speak, the establishment in Germany is trying to gaslight the public by saying the AFD does not support democracy, all while the establishment is trying to subvert democracy. This is going to be a wild ride. The federal courts could actually order an election redo. On the other hand, the federal courts could deny the AFD some of their rightfully won seats. This would enrage a lot of people and expose who the real anti-democrats really are. Here is another interesting nuance from the election. Turnout was way up in both states. According to the exit poll, 59% of new AFD voters in Saxony are people who did not vote in 2014. This is part of the reason that the media was not able to thwart the AFD. While the media was able to get some new people to show up to vote against the AFD was able to get a lot more new voters to show up to vote for them. This was a very satisfying election to watch, and it is now hard to deny that the AFD is the largest party in the former East Germany. Now, the best case scenario in Saxony is that the local CDU deposes of Kretschmer and elects a new leader who coalitions with the AFD. That is probably wishful thinking, though.
Thanks for watching this video. Click the like button, post a comment, tell me what you think about this, and please consider making a donation to my YouTube channel, as YouTube has mass demonetized all my videos. And please support my sponsor, Patriotic Flags, the online flag store, patriotic-flags.com, and click the subscribe button. New video every few days.